has returned from executive session. There were no actions taken. May I have a motion to open the business meeting? Bill, second. Heather, any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everyone. Tonight we have the pleasure of welcoming the New York State Public High School Athletic Association to our meeting. They have good news to share with us. So welcome to Cold Spring Harbor Schools. You're up. Come on up. Come on up to the microphone. Thank you.
So just so everyone knows, I would like to introduce who's going to make a presentation to us tonight. This is Todd Nelson. He is the Assistant Executive Director of NYSFA, which is the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, the governing body of all of athletics in New York State.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here in Cold Spring Harbor. It's actually my second time here. You were gracious enough to host our gymnastics state championship several years ago. I will say that our staff and our gymnastics committee still talks about the hospitality room, by far the best we've ever had in any sport. So kudos to you and your taste on food. So, but what I'm really here to do tonight is to present you with the highest sportsmanship honor we have within our association. So we have 785 member schools. We're here to give you our Sportsmanship Banner Award. You are one of 2 schools in the state of New York to receive this honor this year. And this is really a community award. It starts with the Board of Education establishing the policies and practices, and really most importantly, the expectations that you have of your student athletes and your coaches and your community members when it comes to interscholastic athletics. And then you pass it down to outstanding athletic administrators like Mr. Bongino here. And then he takes it from there and establishes the expectations, number one, with your coaching staff, and then meeting with the athletes and the parents, reinforcing what those expectations are. And then when other communities come here to Cold Spring Harbor, there's people to greet them, show them the hospitality that you expect to have here. And then your student athletes take it from there. And, you know, as you all know, your community is very successful on the fields and on the courts and on the mats. But most importantly, they're successful as being future citizens of this community and other communities when they go out past here. So Dr. Zayas, our executive director, and I use his quote all the time, is our responsibility isn't really to train our student athletes for the next level of competition. It's our responsibility to train them for the next level of life. And that means being a good citizen and being a good person and helping others out. And that's what this award is tonight. And not only do you have those expectations and those policies and the things that Mr. Bongino does and your coaching staff do, but the proof is in the pudding, because you are one of the few schools that last year during the 2023-24 school year had no disqualifications from any player, any coach, or any community member. So that should be something you should be very proud of, and we're very pleased to present Cold Spring Harbor with the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Sportsmanship Banner Award. And the last thing I would like to say, one more thing before, I was really nervous because the last time I came down here was for the gymnastics championship, and I was just blown away with all the banners that you have all over your campus. So I was really worried when you received this award this year. I didn't know where you're going to put this banner. And when I came down here, I was like, where's all the banners? But Mr. Bongino told me that they're being purchased now and they'll be hung up. But I say it across the state, this district has more banners than any district in the state. So congratulations, Cold Spring Harbor. Okay.
Well, that was such a nice way to start our meeting. And now we're going to go on to another great group of visitors. We have the pleasure of hearing from the government officers at Lloyd Harbor School. We look forward to them sharing with us all of the wonderful events going on in their school building. So come on up, Lloyd Harbor.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to speak to you tonight about Lloyd Harbor School. My name is Maddie Dirks, and I'm the Student Council President for the 2024 to 2025 school year at Lloyd Harbor. This year, we are very lucky to have our newest principal, Mrs. Shanahan, and a new assistant to the principal, Mr. O'Rourke. Last week, I interviewed the two of them and learned what they are looking forward to this year. As principal, Mrs. Shanahan is looking forward to getting to know all of the faculty, staff, students, and parents, and really seeing what Lloyd Harbor School is all about. So far, she thinks it has been fantastic. Mr. O'Rourke is looking forward to working with all the students in the school, getting to know them, their families, and their interests. He also is excited about helping the teachers both in their classroom and outside of the classroom, and helping Mrs. Shanahan to make Lloyd Harbor School the best it can be. In addition to a new principal and assistant to the principal, at LHS we have a new beautifully painted cafe in our school colors, red, white, and blue. On the walls, it has inspirational words and quotes, as you can see on the slideshow, and it also includes some of the hiker values, which Riley, our treasurer, is going to tell you about.
Hi. Wait, we should change the slide. Hi, my name is Riley Lubin, and I'm the new Lloyd Harbor School Treasurer for the 2024 to 2025 school year. As Maddie said, the hiker values are very important to our school. For those who don't know, hiker stands for honesty, inclusiveness, kindness, empathy, and respect. The way we use our hiker values makes sure everyone feels safe and comfortable. We make sure the hiker values are embedded into the school. Every class this year will be making a class charter including the hiker values and expectations at Lloyd Harbor School. We also now have buddy benches on the playground. If someone is feeling left out or sad, they can sit on the bench and wait for someone to come play with them. We also get Spirit Day shirts that have the hiker values on them. Being student council officers means we have to show our leadership with the hiker values and fundraisers. Being able to do this is very exciting for all of us, so Annabelle is going to tell you how she felt winning secretary.
Hi, my name is Annabelle Kelly, and I'm the Student Council Secretary of the 2024 through 2025 school year, and I'm going to be talking about my experience winning the secretary position. After making it to the final 17, I didn't think I was going to win because of the great people running against me in the election, but a couple days later I found myself speechless in the cafeteria after it had been announced that I was going to be the school secretary. I was at loss for words and was excited to share the news with my friends and family and was looking forward to all the new responsibilities the secretary has. I was also excited to help with things in the future such as LHTV, Spirit Days, and fundraisers. Speaking of fundraisers, I'm going to pass it off to CJ, who will tell you more about the great fundraisers at Lloyd Harbor.
Hi, my name is CJ Pacey, Lloyd Harbor School Student Council Vice President for the 2024-2025 school year. Today I'm talking about all the amazing fundraisers and drives we have at Lloyd Harbor School. One of the first important fundraisers we have at school this year is the Halloween Treats for Troops Candy Drive. This drive has been going on for 3 years now, and we would like to continue it in future years. Last year, we brought the candy to a military base in West Hampton, and they used it for care packages and family events when troops returned home. The next drives I'm going to talk about are the important food drives we run during the year. For the Thanksgiving drive, we collect food from pasta to all different canned goods. For the Super Bowl drive, we donate soup while using the cans to vote on who you want to win the Super Bowl. We donate the soup to the Helping Hands Rescue Mission in Huntington. The last drive supports the local North Shore Holiday House and is probably the most important drive out of all of them because it's local and part of our community. For this drive, we donate beach towels and flip-flops to the campers staying there for 2 weeks of the summer before returning to their homes. The Holiday House has a pool where they will use the towels and flip-flops. Also, the Lloyd Harbor 4th graders take a field trip there to hide kindness rocks they made for the campers to find when they show up at camp. It is always great to support all these great fundraisers and drives and know we are helping others. We look forward to working with new advisors, Ms. Cooper and Ms. Glass this year.
Thank you for inviting us here to speak to you. Have a great rest of your night.
Are you doing a picture? Is that? Thank you very much. Thank you for telling us everything that's going on at Lloyd Harbor. Have a great beginning of your school year. So we have a nice big crowd this evening and a robust agenda, and I know our superintendent has a great report to give, so I'm just going to make a couple of remarks. I wanted to say congratulations to all of the teachers, the staff, the administration, buildings and grounds, everyone, coaches, on a great opening to this school year. I mean, it's really been, the energy's been wonderful. I think I've been hearing really nice things. I mean, just even from my own children and their friends as I drive them around about how nice the beginning of the school year has been. So, and I know I've on the junior senior high school campus, now that that's the only school that I go to. Yay. It's the energy's been really great over there. And tonight, as a board, we actually did a walkthrough of Goose Hill before this meeting. We've decided to change up the way we do our walkthroughs this year, and we've been doing them before meetings, so this was our first one, and it was really amazing. I think most of us remarked on how long it had been since some of our children had been in Goose Hill, but really to see the improvements to the facilities. That's what these walkthroughs really were about, more than some of it was academic, of course, but really to see how far the facilities have come. So it's between the story walk, you can walk through the backyard of Goose Hill, and there are pages of a story for the kids to read along with. Mr. Monastero is going to read it to them first to kick it off.
Friday. Looking forward to it.
And there's a beautiful, if you haven't seen it, an amphitheater with gardens now where the students can congregate. I mean, it's truly, I'm a private school admissions director in New York City, and I'm like, I could sell this place. It's great. It's really amazing. We should get a photographer in there and make everyone jealous. It's a beautiful, beautiful school. And I was so proud walking through it to see all of the improvements and the work, and thought, just I wish I was 5 years old and I could go to school there, because it must just be magic every day. So thank you for sharing that with us. We are looking forward to see the facilities work that's happened at other schools. And of course, one of the conversations that we have as we go along is what other areas need our attention and funds moving forward. So we did look at some of those tonight at Goose Hill, and we look forward to continuing to improve upon our facilities in the months and years to come. So with that, I'm going to turn the evening over now to our superintendent for his remarks.
Thank you very much. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, staff, and members of our community. Welcome to the September 10th meeting of the Board of Education. I sit before you tonight with a deep sense of pride and excitement as we begin another school year. Over the years, I have watched our schools grow, our students achieve, and our community come together. This year is no different. We are off to a fantastic start, and I couldn't be more optimistic about what lies ahead of us. In a few minutes, our building principals will each provide an update on the start of the building's school year. Each update will be comprehensive, yet to the point, and Ms. Bongino will also provide an update to the start of the fall sports season. Last week, we held our inaugural UPK class at Goose Hill and Westside School. 36 four-year-olds for the first time came to school as preschool students in Cold Spring Harbor. Congratulations to everyone involved. I want to give a special thanks to Ms. Lagatuda, who has been the point person for this program and has spent countless hours working with building leaders, the YMCA, parents, in making sure that the first week went as smoothly as possible. Thank you, Jen. Yes. And in less than 3 weeks, Cold Spring Harbor will be hosting the Remembrance Bowl at our homecoming game. Communications regarding the event have been sent out and more to come. Information regarding the Remembrance Bowl being held on September 27th at the main turf of the Junior Senior High School can also be found on ours and the Sports Boosters web pages. One of the most significant steps we've taken in years to support our students is implementing a school phone-free policy at our Junior Senior High School. This decision was not just important, it is crucial to our district's future, and I believe it will be transformative for our students. I want to take a moment to address why this decision is so important and why I believe it will be beneficial to our students. In the world we live in today is vastly different from when I first started as a social studies teacher almost 3 decades ago. Technology has become a central point of our lives, and with it brings many benefits, it also comes with significant challenges, especially for our young people. Social media, constant connectivity, and the pressures of a digital life are important for our students in ways we cannot ignore. The distraction of cell phones has become a barrier to authentic, meaningful learning and face-to-face interactions, which are critical for personal and academic growth. As an educator, a father, and an uncle, I have seen firsthand the difference that focused, uninterrupted learning does make. The decision to create a cell phone-free environment at a junior senior high school isn't just about limiting distractions. It's about fostering an atmosphere where students can engage deeply with their lessons, their teachers, and most importantly, with each other. Our goal is to create a community where students are present, where they're not distracted by notifications or the pressures of social media, and where they can truly connect with the world around them. By taking this step, we're giving our students the opportunity to develop critical thinking skills, build stronger relationships, and embrace a growth mindset that will serve them well beyond their lives here. I know that this transition may be a challenge at first. Changes are never easy, but I'm confident that these steps will ultimately support a student's well-being and academic success. We will continue to work on the program, working out the bugs that arise, making it better each day. We have already seen positive feedback from staff, students, and parents who recognize the value of this initiative. It is not just about what we're taking away, it's about what we're giving back. We're giving students time back to attention and to connect. As we embark on this new school year, I'm filled with hope and excitement. I've seen how resilient, adaptable, and capable our students and staff are. Together, we will continue to create an environment where every student thrives, where every student and teacher feel supported, and where our community remains strong and connected. We will continue to strive for excellence. Thank you for your commitment to making this district the best it can be. I look forward to a year ahead and working with all of you to ensure that we continue to provide the best possible experiences for our students. Thank you. Please take care of yourself, and if you can, take care of someone in need. Thank you. We have our reports from our building principals. Again, they're going to be very concise. Up first, Ms. Cosme of Goose Hill. That face looked like it wasn't concise, Ms. Cosme.
I'll try. It's just two. So Goose Hill launched this school year on August 27th with our annual open house. All kindergarten and first grade families were invited to attend. We are grateful to our teachers who worked tirelessly throughout the summer to prepare for this very special day. Our families had the opportunity to meet the teachers and tour the classrooms. New students, as well as returning students, had the chance to meet new friends, explore the school grounds, and board a school bus, some for the very first time. They did ask for a ride around the district, but we could not provide that with one small van. We encourage all of our families to take advantage of the district door-to-door transportation. This is a great first step into the world of independence for our students. The open house is a wonderful transition that helps to eliminate the fear of the unknown. It supports a seamless and tear-free separation on the first day of school for all of the students. The first grade class is now our senior graduating class at Goose Hill, so it is their turn to lead us every morning in morning announcements, the Pledge of Allegiance, and our Goose Hill Kindness Pledge. The first 6 weeks of school follows our responsive classroom approach by creating a climate of warmth, inclusion, and safety for all students and staff. Our staff members interactively model classroom routines and behavior expectations. Tomorrow, the GHPTG will host its first meeting of the school year with a welcome back tea and a breakfast. Feel free to stop in. We will begin at 9:30 a.m. On Thursday, we will host our back to school night event where all families will learn about the curriculum from each classroom teacher. On Friday, September 20th, the GHPTG will host our annual back to school picnic / carnival / best day ever for 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. Thank you all for your support and kindness throughout the school year. We look forward to a great year ahead.
Thank you, Mrs. Cosme. And thank you, Board of Education, for having us tonight. And I can't think of a better introduction than the Lloyd Harbor Student Council. They just really did a fantastic job. They're preparing for tomorrow. Several of them are on LHTV, and they bring us our daily news and are just really, I can't say enough about the start to the school year and how impressed I am with our students and our staff. You know, just to give you a little bit of a highlight reel here, we welcomed back nearly 400 students to our building, you know, starting on the first day of school. Staff were very busy the previous week at our superintendent's conference day and throughout the summer, readying our spaces, which were completely overhauled this summer. I'm not sure if any of you had the pleasure of knowing what was going on inside the building and outside the building at Lloyd Harbor School, but it was a completely different environment from, you know, within days. So thank you to Anthony Clements and our custodial and our maintenance teams for all of the work that happened to get our buildings and grounds ready for welcoming our students back. Their smiles, our students' smiles and enthusiasm have filled our hallways, our classrooms, our playgrounds. They're getting used to their routines, their new grade levels. They have been incredibly helpful to our incoming second graders, you know, letting them off of the buses first, helping, you know, in classrooms and in hallways. Our veteran LHS students have been really wonderful role models of our hiker values, which are alive and well, as you heard from our students just a few moments ago. Our monthly WOW theme is greetings. I can't think of a better way to start off a school year than to welcome new and maybe some transitioning students from other schools or just from Goose Hill itself. And our school-wide read aloud, The Day You Begin, is a book that we are reading across the building and really talking about those values and how to welcome and connect with others. In addition, we had our PTGT of nearly 120 parents that attended last week. That was a great success. We were able to share the brand new cafeteria, which is beautiful. It was a long labor of love project that was taken on by the PTG and our staff this past school year, and then getting it ready for the start of school was really exciting to see. Our staff and students were really impressed. We began our bus drills and our fire drills. Our students were exceptional, led by our dedicated staff. Tomorrow we honor Patriot Day by wearing red, white, and blue, as well as our special morning tribute that will begin our day and that begins every day via LHTV. Again, thank you so much for your support and welcoming me as a new principal. I have had wonderful conversations not only with our students and staff, but with many parents in the community, board members, and our fellow administration here. I really have enjoyed my welcome, and it's a lot of work, certainly, getting a new school year up and running, but we are off to a good start, and I really thank you for having us and for your support moving forward this school year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to share a brief opening message. I'll start with Westside with a focus on teaching and learning. Today, we officially launched year 2 of our grade 3 through 6 literacy strategies training. Teachers are diving into facilitating their student assessment conferences and will be working to hone in on creating goals for students to progress and turn their deficits into strengths. This happens by teaching into skills that meet children where they are and leveraging student strengths. Our ICT teams launched in grades 3, 4, and 5. It has been exciting to see our incredible teacher teams working on adopting and implementing different models of integrated co-teaching, such as parallel teaching, station rotation, alternate teaching, one teach, one observe, or one teach and one assist. Our universal pre-K program at Westside has been a wonderful and exciting addition to our school community. They have added additional joy and enthusiasm to an already enthusiastic and joyful building. Our UPK team has done a terrific job at inducting and welcoming our newest and youngest Whalers, and we appreciate the district-wide support and opportunity to partner with the YMCA and to bring such an important offering to our local community members. Lastly, we have welcomed our new second grade class of exceptional learners and feel fortunate to have both their teacher and teacher aide from last year move up with the class to help them with this big transition into their new school home and the start of their elementary school journey from Goose Hill Primary. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all the facilities work that took place over the summer. I'll just give you a quick list. 6 new student bathrooms. Thank you, Building and Grounds, Mr. Clements, Ms. Costa. New faculty lounge, a new student cafeteria floor, a new student kitchen, a new refrigeration system, air conditioning upgrades and enhancements, specifically in our faculty area, a spick and span cleaning of our building, lots of furniture moves, floor waxing, supply room improvements, to name a few. Thank you, and this all happened over a very short summer. Lastly, I wanted to give a very public thank you to our new superintendent of schools, Mr. Monastero, for helping us to officially launch the 2024-2025 school year by being our first official bell ringer on the first day of school. We wish everyone a wonderful, successful, positive, purposeful, and productive school year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Much like many of my counterparts, I do want to start. Our year really began the week before school started when we welcomed in 131 of our incoming 7th graders to participate in the first ever Cold Spring Harbor Amazing Race, where they were broken into teams mixing students from West Side and Lloyd Harbor, where they had to go around the building and follow clues to find parts of the building that they might not necessarily know just by calling them by their name. A huge credit to Caitlin Harmon, the junior high assistant principal, for putting that together. The kids had a lot of fun running around the building and trying to complete these tasks where they had to check in with faculty members who would give them their ticket to the next location. It was a fun way to kind of introduce them to the building, because as we do the orientation, we always talk to them about the 3 L's. They're all focused on, will I have lunch with a friend, will I get lost, and will I be able to operate my locker? So that eliminated one of those L's right off the bat. They don't have to worry about getting lost because they learned the building. And by the end of week 1, truly, they were operating their lockers like longtime pros. With respect to some of the updates that we have at the junior senior high school, facilities updates, in retrospect, it was a quiet summer at the junior senior high school, as the last 3 years have been really earmarked by massive construction and demolition. So the extent of our facilities updates this summer, we have a brand new carpet, brand new lighting, and brand new sound in the PAC. It is an utterly beautiful space right now that will really bring some of our student performances, our performance ensembles, really to another level with some digital sound upgrades. I would be remiss, just like Dr. Barnes said, if I did not thank Matt Burke, my head custodian. He managed to not only get our building up and running, he spent a lot of time split between Lloyd Harbor and the junior senior high school this summer, overseeing 2 different buildings. So a credit to him and his team that on top of managing the cleaning of our building, in addition to summer research, summer sports camps, and all the other activity that continues throughout the summer at the junior senior high school, that he was able to welcome us all in on the first day of superintendent's conference day to an absolutely spotless building. And it is something that many of the staff had commented about. Recently, our 7th grade students took their first field trip of the year. We send them on a field trip to the Brookville Environmental Center, where they participated in some team building activity. And this Friday, our 8th graders will go, as they transition out of the 7th grade into the 8th grade, to do a little bit more of leadership development at ComSet. We spent the better part of the first week of school hosting grade level assemblies, where we had small, really focused conversations with every single grade level in the building, starting with 7th grade and ending with the 12th grade. We went through some of the general format of those conversations, was really understanding what the rights, responsibilities, and privileges of a junior, senior high school student are, as well as spending quite a bit of time on some question and answer session with some of the recent changes. We've welcomed in pretty much every single student athlete in the junior senior high school for our 2 athletic code of conduct meetings. We had a great turnout last week for our senior safe driving presentation. This morning we had our PTG welcome back luncheon. We had about 45 parents come to get some updates and really get a chance to meet some of the team. And really, I kind of opine in the closing weeks of August for the days where the energy is back in the building. And Mrs. Wayland hit the nail on the head. The energy when the students come back is dramatically different. So much so that there's a funny meme that there is no tired, like the first Friday of the school year tired. I think I was in bed at about 7 o'clock on Friday night. Because it really is, once the students are back in, it goes from 0 to 100. And you know what? I miss it. In the summer, I always complain about how I miss it, and I love it, even though it's exhausting. But truly, the energy that's back in the building with the students is second to none. Our staff is really gearing up, as Mr. Monastero talked about, the Remembrance Bowl we are hosting at the end of the month. Our staff is participating in curriculum writing, where we will be implementing 3-day units across every curricular area in preparation for really helping our students understand what the meaning behind the Remembrance Bowl is. Yes, it's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful football game, but there's so much more to the story of the Remembrance Bowl. So our staff has been very excited to really kind of dive in and roll up their sleeves and plan those units. I look forward to the building walkthroughs, where you will get to see the beautiful renovated PAC. And I look forward to the month of December, where the senior high school students get to step up their game a little bit and try to match some of the elementary students in their presentation to the board. So thank you very much for your continued support.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to talk as well about the opening with athletics, but it's not really like an opening anymore, about a month in already. It started on August 19th. And the games are going, but I always like to tell the community this. 80% of our student population participates in interscholastic athletics, 371 high school students and 170 junior high students registered for the fall, which makes me so happy because the beautiful backyard that our buildings and grounds and facilities takes care of, especially in the fall sports when I go outside, every field is packed, all the courts, including both gyms with volleyball and cheerleading, which is absolutely amazing. Both code of conducts were extremely well attended, and I do believe that the message is always well heard, and I am extremely proud, but it's not, I'm proud because of where I work. I'm proud because of this community and what everybody does to support athletics, because it is true. People want to play here, people want to come here, people always are enamored and in awe of our facilities. Even when Todd Nelson walked into the field house, even into the wrestling room, and he saw the banners up of our collegiate athletes, he just couldn't believe what goes on here in the school. I say this all the time, academics, the arts and athletics, it's remarkable. And this is embarking on my 12th year. I can't wait to see what this school year brings. This Remembrance Ball also is a full community event. Island Trees is extremely excited to be part of this, and all of the efforts that we are putting in to make this a great event, you will all start to see come together. I'm looking forward to meeting with the PTGs on Thursday after CPC to put some fine touches to it all, and it's going to be a great year, and I hope to see as many people out there on the fields, the courts, the pool, wherever, and I'll post results at some point. No one needs to hear about that right now. But I am looking forward to a great year, and thank you for all of your support always.
Good night. So, next on the agenda, we are going to talk about committee work, but a small committee on the board actually is working on the Remembrance Bowl also, so I'm putting Kate Delacarpini on the spot right now. Just to talk about a couple of the other things, because there's other events, and with the start of the school year being so close to the Remembrance Bowl, I just want to make sure that everyone knows what's happening in that week. So take it away, Kate.
So I'll just give a quick, I know a lot of you are at the Code of Conduct, but the Remembrance Bowl starts off Wednesday night with the cocktail party, which is, we're going to have the dignitaries there, hopefully a lot of the community. Helen Patton will be there, and our veterans, most importantly, will be there to be honored. So it seems to be a little bit of a confusion. The cocktail party is Wednesday night. Those tickets you can buy on the Booster Club website. Just because a few people have asked me, the tailgate is through the Cold Spring Harbor Booster Club as well, but that's the night of the game. If you want to purchase separate tickets, it's their tent that they usually do. It's the same every year. Then Thursday night, there's a jersey signing that is for the cheerleaders and the football team and the parents, the veterans, Helen Patton, all the dignitaries as well. And then Friday night is the game. Somebody was asking me tonight actually about, I thought it was cute, she called it a package, but to get tickets. If you donate a certain amount of money, you get 2 tickets to the cocktail party. It's already in that price. If you donate to the next level, I think you get 4 tickets to the cocktail party, and so on. It adds up. I think the max is 6 tickets or something. So if some people are like, oh, I already bought tickets, but I still want to donate, it's going to end up being the same amount of money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you should look at the different levels, because some of them include the tickets to the cocktail party. We've had some really generous donations so far. It seems well received in our community. We're really excited to host Helen Patton and for her to teach our students about the history of the Remembrance Bowl, why it's so significant, and also a lot of the veterans that are coming with her from Normandy will be having breakout sessions with our older kids. The younger kids, too, are going to have role playing, and they're going to be in the gym singing songs. And she's actually even just told us the other day that she's bringing an artist who spent the week last year during the 80th anniversary of Normandy celebrations, and he's going to come work with the kids. There's going to be reenactors that actually, this is what they do. They reenact what went on in World War II. They're coming. So it's not just a football game. like Mr. Bongino said, it's a big curriculum that goes along with this, and it's part of history. We're now going to be in those books. When they write about the mother, this is like a whole other story, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but during World War II, one of the first towns liberated along the trail was this little town in France called St. Margulies. It's about the same size as Cold Spring Harbor. So they really pay tribute to the Americans. They raised our flag higher than theirs. And the mayor of the town at that time, his son is going to be here. And in Normandy, he's a big deal. So he's coming here too to talk to us about, he lived through, when his town was occupied by the Nazis, he lived through that. So he wrote a book also about his mother who tended to the gravesite, and Locust Valley is now in that book because they were the first game stateside last year. So we're hoping to be a part of that book and to be a part of the history of this game played in the United States. So if everyone could look at the Cold Spring Harbor Booster Club Remembrance Bowl page, you could donate, buy tickets, just to get involved and get more information. So thank you. I didn't have anything prepared. So.
Thank you. No, that
was
was
very good.
That
That was excellent. Thank
wonderful.
you.
That's why I asked you to do it, because you say it so nicely. Thank you. And Kate really has been. I mean, everyone's been working so hard, but Kate, thank you so much. And Lisa is our merch gal. So if you need somebody to run your merch, you should always ask Lisa Smith. All right. So any other committees? Yes, Mr. Woolman.
So the policy committee met on September 6th, which was Thursday. Heather, Lisa, myself, and Joe were there as part of the committee. We did a few things, but the main thing we considered is changes to our admissions of students regulation, and there's suggested wording changes that have come from the state about how we identify proof of residency when a student wants to enroll. So we're considering that for changes. And then the second part of the meeting, we talked about our agenda for the year. So we set all the upcoming meetings and also talked about our priority on other policies that we want to consider. So we'll be back to you next meeting with some recommendations.
Thank you. I don't believe any other committees met in the interim. No. So at our next meeting, we'll have some more reports. Thank you. This now brings us to our first audience to visitors. The Cold Spring Harbor Board of Education and Administration welcome your attendance at Board of Education meetings. Audience to public affords residents an opportunity to address the Board of Education on both agenda and non-agenda items. Each resident is allowed to speak for 3 minutes. This is not the forum to discuss student or staff-specific issues. Please contact the district separately on these matters. If you're interested in speaking, now is the time to please come up to the podium.
I think we have someone.
Hi, please come up to the podium and speak into the microphone. Thank you.
Gladly. Find my notes. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Montecero and the Board of Members. Congratulations on your new appointment. My name is Alicia O'Neill. I live in Lloyd Harbor. I'm here to discuss the private school transportation that has been very disturbing for our students this year. I'm going to read my message just so that I stay clear on what the points are, and also to let you know that we have students from the school that are extremely upset with the issues that have been presented with transportation this year and want to also speak. So, we are extremely disappointed in the school district and the lack of an acceptable resolution to the busing issue to Kellenberg caused by the district right before the start of the school year. The fact that we have to attend this meeting to be heard for a basic service is embarrassing for the taxes we pay into this district. We have all reached out multiple times to only receive the runaround, no response, or here we are looking into it. It's the second week of school, and that's really not even appropriate that we're still dealing with what we are dealing with. The private school bus change that was implemented this year for Kellenberg only, without any notice, is unacceptable. The district receives a lot of my money and parents' monies for taxes for 7 students that don't attend the schools. I would assume that some of that money is for transportation. And you can get the exact number, but I believe it's well into $200,000 for those 7 students for the school year. Some of it must be for transportation, like I said. We meet the qualifications for private school transportation based off of the guidelines. The district didn't make this change for Chaminade, and it's causing an extreme hardship for the Kellenberg students and the parents that pay the taxes for this district. The students wanted to attend this evening so you could comprehend from their perspective the issues and duress this causes them in the process to their academic success. The fact that the Cold Spring Harbor bus to Kellenberg is only picking up at one location that is extremely out of the way during rush hour, and then continuing on to pick up Syosset students door to door is embarrassing. The bus company said that the district is in fact aware that this was going to happen, which is a whole other issue separate of the fact that the busing is a disaster. My children's stop for the past 3 years was a central pickup drop-off at Lloyd Harbor School. It would then continue to pick up the other students headed to Kellenberg. This has remained the same for Chaminade and needs to stay that way for Kellenberg. The new proposed central stop is West Side School. That will take 25 minutes in one direction. It's not even an option. It's like you want us to make it so challenging that we say forget it, but I can guarantee you that although only 7 of us, the taxes we pay, we will not be moving on. It feels personal towards the students and families when this change was made for only Kellenberg this year. I was told by the transportation office that it was a business decision made by her boss, so I assume she implemented that it was you. The Cold Spring Harbor School District probably should have waited to implement this change until a viable plan was in place that included all of the private schools. The only solution is to return service as in the years past, and if and when a change is needed, give appropriate notice and include the other private schools in that change. It's hard not to feel like there is a favoritism towards the all-boys school. Listen, I love Chaminade. We have family that went there, but we're all paying taxes. All of the Kellenberg families look forward to an immediate change to the ridiculousness of this current commute. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Christine, do you want to address this? I don't know that you didn't reach out to the board about this until tonight. Is that correct?
Up to Mr. Monastero. My husband again responded to you because he hasn't heard back from you. Is it Costa? You. So you also, we haven't heard any resolution. So it's really disheartening. And the kids on the bus today, I think it was like an hour and a half on the way home because it's still merging with Syosset, and it's a super problematic. You know, we've been commuting to the school since my daughter was in 6th grade. She's a freshman now. It's embarrassing.
I'm sorry, this is I'm student here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. And here's another Kellenberg family member. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Christine, do you want to respond, please?
Yeah,
Thank
we are
you.
aware of the situation with the Kellenberg transportation. We actually have our consultant coming in tomorrow to discuss what's happening with Syosset schools. It is not okay that our buses combine with Syosset schools, and we are aware of that. And tomorrow, actually, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 o'clock, but we do have the consultant coming in for us to discuss a breach of contract with Huntington Coach and how we can resolve that Syosset students are on the bus with Kellenberg
What about the
students.
pickup location, though?
So-
How was that changed, and how are they notified?
So they were notified that the pickup location before school started was West Side School.
No, we got a notice of like the last week of August.
Okay.
Yeah, so the problem was is that we.
I'm sorry.
Yep, I'll say. So the bus was gonna go away because whatever the issues were with saying that there was no family within 15 miles, which was inaccurate. Now it's all documented correctly. So again, the big issue is also that the Chaminade bus has remained the same. So you can talk about a breach of contract, and that's great, but it's a failure in the system to say that it was a business decision, and you're choosing to try it with Kellenberg, and possibly it will be changed for Chaminade. It's hard to feel like it's not discriminatory in some way or favoritism, that it's the all-boys school and nothing is changing. And I could be, not educated to the point that you are on the matter, but I feel like, there's a little bit something that seems offensive and shady.
Well, there was no intent of offense. It is normal to have a central pickup point.
Which ours always has been central at the Lloyd Harbor School, but you took it away. We live
Okay,
on
I'm
Lloyd
sorry,
Neck.
let's just, for protocol
Yeah,
purposes,
sure.
I appreciate
No,
you
it's great
sharing
that
this
she's
and
no,
bringing
but
it
it's-
to
we
everyone's
appreciate you speaking
attention.
to it now since you
Sure.
haven't.
Okay,
And that is exactly why we're meeting tomorrow, to discuss what we should do with central pickup points. So central,
this didn't come to us to decide.
no, not to the board at all. Did
No.
not come to the board at all. Central pickup
This is
points
our-
are normal for private and parochial schools.
Okay, Christine,
in
can you
general.
ask them about returning the bus stop to the original? Because Chaminade does pick up at Lloyd Harbor also,
Yeah.
and that is prohibitive for people who live
We can return it to Lloyd.
in Lloyd Harbor.
We can return it to Lloyd, but we're also going to discuss central pickup points where students can actually take transportation to arrive at them. So for example, it would be commonplace for central pickup point to be the high school, so that if a kid doesn't have a parent who could drive them, they could be routed on one of our buses to make their way to the high school, and it wouldn't be prohibitive to the
Okay.
families. So that we are meeting tomorrow on all of the ways that central pickup points should operate in our district to help students, whether or not a family member could drive them, no matter what the central pickup point would be.
Right, and I'm just going to interrupt though also and say that for that solution, obviously with the gridlock getting in and out of the high school in the morning, just to then take them to what was the West Side School, which obviously is like ridiculous, is a problem and really is not efficient. And that's great. So maybe you're like, okay, we changed that spot. The bigger issue that we have is that it hasn't changed for Chaminade and that the Lloyd Harbor stop is necessary.
Okay, Christine, you'll follow up
Yes,
with the
absolutely.
families
Absolutely.
But
tomorrow?
will you actually be able to? Because I feel like we haven't been being heard, and the fact that I think my husband sent you like 4 messages, that we've all sent you messages.
The most important thing we need to address tomorrow is why Syosset students are on the bus with us. That we will address that in
Okay,
conjunction with the central pickup
Yeah,
point.
can we make sure the central pickup spot gets reinstated, please? Because a week before school is not acceptable.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you. And just also, I know other people want to speak, but you feel that the most important part is the Syosset issue, which that's a huge issue, but it's also the fact that the central spot for Lloyd Harbor was taken away, and also the door-to-door pickup for the 3 families going to Kellenberg and Cold Spring Harbor was taken away, and I believe that the Chaminade students are still getting that pickup from the Lloyd Harbor points on. So it's like really, it is an issue.
Thank you. We will
Yeah, we'll
look into
we will
it.
get back
Thank
to you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you
We'll
for,
follow up with you when we come here. Thank you.
okay. Is there anyone else?
Sure, why not? I'll pile on. Hi, I know there's a lot of, I'm a working parent. My husband's a working parent, and we heavily rely on our kids being properly and on time being transported to school. Since busing started, our kids have not gotten to school on time, which means they're not getting the information during homeroom, right? So they're already behind the 8 ball. They're spending over an hour to an hour and a half, like just one way. I mean, like I have to say, guys, for the amount of money that we spend on taxes, this is horrific. This is horrific. And like we need to do better for the kids. It has nothing to do with the parents. I will do whatever I need to do to get my child to school. But like this shouldn't have to happen, right? That's like 2.5 hours on a bus every day. Like, and then I don't know if Mrs. O'Neill said it, but even pick up and drop off, they're not even picking up and dropping off at the same place on West Side. So like we're all texting each other every morning. Where do we go? Do you know where the bus is? Do you know, like, this is ridiculous. And like I'm running into the city. I just came back from the city because it's whatever you can do to help us as soon as possible would be greatly appreciated.
Can you just tell us your name?
Sure, Danielle Siebertson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything?
So, Ms. Severson,
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill, we will work with Ms. Costa tomorrow, and we'll work to get that stop put in as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I think
And we'll
communication
definitely-
would be great.
And we'll
too.
definitely reach out to you and keep you apprised of the progress, and I hope to head it as early as this week if we can.
Yeah,
the
and
We'll
length-
definitely
length
keep you.
of the
And not to pile on, but just FYI, you guys asked, or the transportation office asked for these applications at the beginning of March. We were notified end of July, that we wouldn't be getting transport. Where's the break? Where's the break in the process?
No, that's helpful information
Yeah.
for us to have. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. My name is Grace O'Neill. I live in Lloyd Harbor, and I attend Kellenberg Memorial High School. I am currently a freshman, but I've been taking the bus to Kellenberg since I was in 6th grade, attending the Brother Joseph C. Fox Latin School. My stop was Lloyd Harbor Elementary School this year, but about 3 weeks before we went back to school, the Cold Spring Harbor School District took our school bus away. We live an hour away from Kellenberg, and all of our parents work. So how are we supposed to get to and from school each day? Then the district added the bus back with one central stop for everyone, and it's about 25 minutes away from my home. The central stop is Westside Elementary School. The district then merged our bus with Syosset. Our drive is now an hour and 20 minutes to school, and we will be late every day. Chaminade had the same pickup as me for the 3 years prior to this. Their stop didn't get taken away, and there is more than one kid at my stop that is being impacted by this decision. So if you were gonna toss this away because it was one student at my stop, it's not anymore. How is that acceptable? How was the decision made to take our bus stop away and not theirs? You told us you were taking away Chaminade's bus next year. So why didn't we get the same notice they did? You've heard from our parents through multiple emails and talking tonight, but you haven't heard through the student's perspective. We go to a commuter school, and we know it's a long drive, but we also know there's supposed to be a bus service to take us to and from school. This is very disturbing to our schedule. Especially on the way home, our opportunities to succeed at school are limited because we have to worry about whether or not it works with our parents' schedule. We understand it's about money, but you make about $250,000 off me and the other kids on my bus not going to the public schools. And I understand it's about money and that you may not care that much, but can you please think about how it's affecting the students' lives? We want our bus service to return to normal like the other private school Chaminade. You haven't provided us with answers, and that's all we're looking for. And now as a student, I need to go focus on my schoolwork and trust that you as adults will handle this properly and with great care. Thank you for resolving this issue immediately.
Thank you, Grace. And we will definitely get back to you and have this stop put in as soon as possible. I apologize. Very good.
Good evening. I'm Victoria, and this is
Amelia Sievertson.
we both are also on the Kellenberg Cold Spring Harbor bus, and I thank you already for all your patience so far. What I've heard from not being with Syosset anymore on the bus, it's very hardening to hear. I just had a few concerns regarding door-to-door transportation. So last year and the year before that, I've been on this bus from Kellenberg to Cold Spring Harbor, and we have been picked up from our doors. And I heard that you had wanted to look into public transportation from our homes to the centralized location, and I was just wondering how that would work. Wouldn't that be a little bit more, it wouldn't work out as well as just door to door? Especially because there's another family on our bus which is on the same road as our family, and that's Amelia's. And we heard that, I wouldn't know, I'm not very into maps, but I've heard from some of the other parents that the bus on the way to the centralized location passes by both our homes. So I just wanted to bring that up so you would take into consideration to bring the buses back to our doors again. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, I
Th-
feel
th-
like
yeah,
we
thank
learned
you,
a lot.
Victoria.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for coming and for speaking. That is what audience to visitors is for, so thank you very much. Is there anyone else who has something to share at this time? Yes, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Miss Lynch, and my son is a senior in the senior high school. I have a quick question regarding the Yonder pouches that the cell phones are supposed to be stored in. Number one, when is that officially going into process?
So just, if I could just clarify one thing about the board policy committee re-looked at the board policy on electronic devices, which needed to be updated. It included words like beeper. It was really outdated. And the policy was updated to give the building level principals the ability to manage devices in their building. So there's not a board policy that says specifically yonder pouches. Just to be clear, there is a guideline from the principal, which we as a board support through a policy that says we will support what the building leaders do. So we wouldn't, actually, we're not rolling out the yonder pouches as a board, but Mr. Monastero can answer about timing. But I just wanted to make that clear, because I know there's been some confusion about where the policy, what the policy says as opposed to the guidelines. They're not one and the same.
Well, be that as it may, the process is proceeding. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, this week.
Okay, so whether the board approved it or not, it's being put into place, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so might I ask, the students will be the only people in the building that are literally required? Is this a requirement?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so who in the building is required to put their phones in these magnetic pouches?
Students.
And might I ask why nobody else is?
We will have available to staff. They have a similar pouch to put in that's Velcro closed. We also, our staff use their phone. They have on what's called a Rave app too for security. God forbid ever something happens, they need to have quick access to their phone to alert and in a case of an emergency.
So it's available to them, it's not a requirement?
Correct.
So why aren't they required to store their devices?
They keep them away. They don't have them out in class, but we're having
Well,
them
no, I would disagree with that. That's not true. They do have them out in class.
using them in class.
Yes, yes, that is reported by many, many students, that
If you-
teachers have phones out in active use as well.
Yeah, I would.
While the teachers are given assignments and the students are working or working in teams, teachers are sitting at their desks using their cell phones.
I would like if we could discuss tomorrow. You give us some names and we'll discuss that, please.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of a name. I think it's a matter of fact. If my student or any of our junior, senior high school students are expected to magnetically lock away their phones so they don't have access to them in an emergency, no matter whose decision it is, whether it's the boards or the principals or the vice principals, the bottom line is my child's not being granted that same access to emergency notification
They don't
as
have
everybody else in the building.
So that is for the staff member to enact the emergency notification. Students
I
don't
understand,
have that.
but why is that ability being taken away from a student to reach out in the case of an emergency? Why is that ability being removed from the student body? They don't have the right to call in an emergency situation?
This is a specific app that alerts to police that something is going on in the
I
building.
understand,
We
but
have
why aren't the
phones-
students being given that privilege?
We have the teachers there that have the phone in the classroom. They could use theirs. They could
What
use
if
the
the
Rave
teacher's
app.
phone is dead?
Okay. So audience to visitors, typically, we've sort of gotten out of proper procedure here. So it's a time to speak, and then
Sure.
Mr. Monastero can answer. But if you do want to have a conversation with him about it, which I think you should, call him tomorrow, or he'll call you, and you can have a further conversation about it.
Well, but in the meantime, this is being enacted with a tremendous amount of distress in your community. The people that have voted you people into office expect some type of response before this is enacted. Where our students aren't being given a choice. My student is not going to have the ability to reach out in the case of an emergency. I don't see how that's justified.
There is also a tremendous amount of support in the community, too.
I don't think as much as there is dissent with the idea of it.
Okay, I disagree. I think there is a tremendous amount of support from the communications I have received.
There's some, no doubt. Everybody has a right
Okay.
to their opinion, but I guess my point is I feel as if what's happening for the student body is their rights and privileges to reach out in an emergency are
Right.
being removed.
But we're also looking at the goal here is to provide the students an environment where they are not interrupted. We see in the most recent reports that students on average receive over 250 communications per day on average. And it takes a long time to recuperate from that. We're looking about the long-term harm that is happening to students when they're disrupted continuously during the school day. I've had many, many parents reach out. In fact, this weekend, as someone who is a college professor, applauding the work that the school district is doing because they see the harm that is going on right there in college. Students not being able to concentrate in classrooms, being disrupted continuously throughout the day, throughout the period, and not learning properly. By not allowing students to have access to the phone during the day, we're giving them the ability to be present, to learn what's going on in the classroom, and to engage with our students. Unfortunately, our students during COVID lost a lot of these communication skills, and we're trying to give them back. We're trying to give them the ability to be present and learn, and not be disrupted continuously during the school day.
So can I ask you, don't you feel it might be a little more prudent in today's state of safety and concern with safety in our school systems, that maybe these children are to deposit their phones in a basket on the teacher's desk as they enter the room and then retrieve them as they exit the room?
One of the reasons that this wasn't put into policy is so that it can continue to be adjusted as needed. So
But the investment's already been made with our tax dollars.
Yeah.
It is, but then you have students between periods using the cell phone, not communicating, and every study shows how cell phone use on unrestricted time causes issues in schools.
But
then
if it's between periods, it's not impacting their education. If my son
Sure,
is a
they're not
senior and
communicating.
leaving campus on his lunch,
He's allowed to have it unlocked.
We're
So
well
he's-
beyond
so he's
the,
gotta
the
unlock
3
it and
minutes.
lock it back
As he
on.
walks out the door, he taps and he has the
It
phone
just
out.
isn't prudent. It seems like there would be a much less costly way than using our tax dollars for
We-
that, as well as the basic idea of throwing it in a basket on the teacher's desk, so the teacher can see them. Yet, if there's an emergent situation, those phones are still available to students to communicate with emergency services. What if the teacher becomes enabled,
There's a phone in the classroom they could use.
or disabled,
Okay.
excuse me?
It's
Well.
been beyond the well
Okay.
beyond the
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, Kristen Smith. I just want to get up just to say that there was a very large group of parents and community members that were extremely supportive of all of the work that the administrators, Mr. Monastero, the board did in evaluating what the policy should be for the district, but also what the various implementation methods should be. And there was a groundswell of support. We were communicated with, we attended the board meetings, we saw the survey that went out, we saw the results. I think we've been very well educated. And with respect to kind of the safety issues, I think that, we would take the lead of Mr. Monastero and the safety officials, which have protocol that they advise around if there is an emergency, should people be using their cell phones when other students are trying to follow the directions of the people in the building that are trying to direct them or telling them to potentially be quiet. And so we understand, all of us as parents understand that we'd want to hear from our child in that situation, but not necessarily at the detriment of the other children who are trying to actually follow the proper protocol. So there are phones in the various classrooms. We've gotten all the information on the incredible number of phones that are in the classrooms. And I just want to speak up here in support, or to voice the support of a lot of the families that are incredibly happy with kind of the progress. And I think the leadership that the district has shown, and obviously many of the states are now looking at putting this in fact, our own state, as a statewide regulation. And I think we are just far ahead of the curve, and it's going to have a tremendous impact on all of our children in the long run.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
Seniors or no?
You can?
Yes.
You want to, yeah?
Mr. Dembowski, would you be able to get up and talk a little about the senior privileges with the phone? Because I feel like that's not really being communicated.
Sure. Hey, that's loud. So as I said in the July board presentation, when we first talked about really this approach to doing the bell-to-bell restriction, we recognize that there are a variety of grade levels that have different demands. Right now, for example, our seniors are right in the midst of college applications, and many of them utilize Naviance, and Naviance is often tied to their personal email addresses. So when I met with the seniors last week, I met with them last because I knew they would have the most questions. Because they are the ones who have 5 years in the building, they're 5 years used to how it has been, and this is a big change for them. So as I said to the seniors when I met with them last week, the plan is to be able to utilize the Commons as a senior privileged space, where if a student has an off period, right? And the example that Mr. Montecero gave, I believe, in the July board presentation was, for example, if a student has an off period, we don't want them to have to go to their car if they're going to work on Naviance, right? So as I explained to the seniors when I met with them, that was something that is on the kind of back end of the rollout. The focus in the opening 2 weeks has been to get the pouches, get them properly asset tagged, get the infrastructure for the system in place, roll out, and then be able to offer the seniors the opportunity. I also have to obviously work within the teacher's contract to be able to make sure I have a staff member supervising the location, because if the Commons is going to be a tech-friendly space, we want to make sure that before the Commons are exited, the devices are stored back in accordance with the regulation. So that is something that I spoke with the seniors about. And I have to say, we met for almost 2 hours last week, and many of the students came up after, and they had somewhat of a collective sigh of relief when they heard that on the horizon was the opportunity. When students go out to lunch, there's an expectation they sign out of the building. That's not new. That's always been, because we want to make sure we know who's in our building and who left our building. So they have to sign out at the security desk. The security desk will have the unlocking device. They will be able to unlock. The devices can handle upwards of 50 packets per minute when they are properly used. Obviously, when we first roll it out, until kids get comfortable how the actual device works, it might be a little clunky, but you think about any given lunch period, we have 30 to 40 seniors who might be going out to lunch. Though theoretically, one device could handle those unlockings in less than 1 minute. And the expectation is, as they return to the building, that device would be stored. Again, as Mr. Montecero said, the reasoning behind which is really kind of minimizing the potential for interruptions, distractions that come up. We even anecdotally, one of our science teachers has been doing a screen time research project with his students going back to the second week of August. And as of right now, between 7th and 10th grade classes, they're averaging about 46 hours per week on screens. And if you are awake roughly 17 hours a day, that's like 3 days of your week that is spent on a device. So those are the reasonings behind why we're doing it. But again, as I explained to the seniors, the goal has always been to be able to give them the opportunity. And we understand there's going to be times where they're sitting with their counselors and they need to access their device for Naviance or computer. And those are all opportunities they will have to unlock them. It's just a matter of managing where those devices are unlocked. Phones in bathrooms, which we're really trying to cut down on those unsupervised locations where nothing good happens when there's a device involved.
Can you also talk about, if someone has an emergency, or even juniors that need to check their email with jobs, that, that people will be allowed to use their
Right.
phones, they just need to.
Right, there are many locations. They go to the main office, they could go to the junior office, they could go to the guidance center. So we've set up many locations where students can go if they need to contact someone to unlock their phone and use their phone in a supervised manner.
Or put in a room to have a private conversation with
Correct,
whoever.
exactly.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just make one comment. So we as a board take the audience participation very seriously. And we've been working on this issue for 3 months, and I could say we didn't have anyone come to the meetings that were against the policy. So we heard dozens of parents come up to the microphone all summer telling us how much they wanted the policy. So just to be clear, we take the audience participation
Guidelines, sorry.
very
Check it.
seriously.
It's guidelines, it's not a policy. Okay, sorry.
Yes, as she distinguished guidelines versus policy. But we do take this very, very seriously, and I just wanted to make it very clear that we didn't hear anything all summer.
And I encourage people to go back and watch old board meetings. I know you can listen to it like a podcast even. You don't have to sit there and watch YouTube. I'll put it on. But you can hear the discussions that were had about cost, about implementation. I mean, was hours and hours of conversation put into
We
this.
asked a lot of the questions that
questions.
parents are asking now.
And we had and have those concerns too. So it's not that you can hear it all if you go back and listen. And it is a shame that sometimes, and it's like the thing you say to parents. I said to you today, I proactively called because I was upset about something today, and I'm not good at that. I wait and I'll say, in September this happened to my kid, and somebody will say, well, it's May. Why didn't you say something? So this has been a conversation that's been happening for months. So you need to get in the conversation while it's happening, because so much is decided on by when we say send emails, we don't mean it punitively. People sometimes will say to me, they think it's rude when I say send an email to the board. Please, if you have a concern, send an email to the board. It's the only way we know that there are concerns. We don't want to find out about it on Cold Spring Harbor moms when people are upset. Like Cold Spring Harbor parents. We don't want to find it when they're upset. We want to know so we can get ahead of it. It's not doing a service to the kids. It's not doing a service to the community. And we spend hours and hours and hours of our time. And you elect us, but we give hours of our time to make this a great school. And I think that if you don't talk to us until it's the 11th hour, that really isn't fair to us also.
I didn't know it was on the table. I didn't know it was being
Well,
implemented.
read your emails.
Can I
Go ahead.
add one more thing? In addition, we were very concerned about getting feedback, and so you didn't even have to come to a meeting because a survey was sent to every parent in the district and every student, and we had a decent set of responses, and I was very surprised how in favor of the cell phone limitations.
Do you have those results?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is there a way we can post
We
them?
could reshare those results out.
Can you put them on the
Yeah,
website?
right.
or-
And this, as Alex, right, it's the part of Mr. Nabusky's presentation. The presentation is still posted. I don't remember exactly what was at that point because we've met so many times. I don't want to say everything was in there because, again, we spoke so many times. And that's just right here on the Board of Education. There was time Mr. Nabusky, myself, and his team at the junior, senior high school spent time looking over the results, speaking with Yonder, speaking with other schools to see what is the best way to deploy this. And also knowing that things may change. We may see, we think we have everything rolled out, and I applaud everyone saying, okay, we may need some adjustments to make this work best for our kids. Again, at the end of the day, this is only to help our children be better at everything that they're doing. That is our goal here. This is not looking to hurt them or restrict them. It's to give them back their time to concentrate in school.
Can I say one more thing? We put this man in place as our leader because we trust him. And regardless of how we individually feel about this, I do think it's important to give it a
go.
Give him a go. I mean, he wants to try it. Mr. Dambusky, we trust him. He wants to try it. See how it works.
I do want to say this. In speaking to parents, some of them would say, literally, when they're in the car with their friends, they're all on one side. As soon as they talk to their child alone, they say, you know, Mom, Dad, this is the right thing. We see how much time we're on our phones, how much time we waste just scrolling through, doing nothing. I'm not saying every child says that. I'm not going to say that. But many, many of them. I speak to people outside Cold Spring Harbor, and they will all understand exactly what we're doing, wishing their school district would do the same, being the leaders that we're doing right now in helping our children. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else, audience to visitors? Get up there.
For those of you that don't know me, there might be like 4 of you.
Talk into the microphone.
You stop it. You
I know it doesn't pick up on the recording, though. We can hear
But I
you, but
can't.
just pull it down.
Okay. So I very rarely have something to say. No, kidding. I wanted to thank you. Normally, it's a policy. It's a guideline.
It's a guideline.
Sorry, Alex. Before school started, my now 10th grader came to me and was like, I need melatonin. I said, what the hell do you need melatonin for? Well, I saw it on TikTok, so obviously it's golden. He said, I can't sleep. I said, how about we turn your phone off? So that was number 1. So we took the phone away, 9 p.m. He's kicking and screaming. He got 100 on his first test because guess what? He had nothing else to do but study. So I think I agree with you, Alex, 100%. Let's see if it works. I get it. I have a kid in college. His phone is clearly locked up in a Yonder pouch at another university because I can't understand why he's not calling. Who wouldn't want to talk to me every day? And, you know, and just for the rest of you board members, my 10th grader, I was solely responsible for taking everybody's phones away. just so the heat is off all of you, because apparently they decided that I'm on the board. No, it's Lisa, guys. We keep mixing it up. It's not me, it's Lisa. So I just wanted to thank you. I think I have a child that came from private school back into 8th grade. He never had a phone. So it works. They throw that phone in the locker, and guess what? He still managed to call me if he needed something. I think it's a good way to start, and let's just see where it goes. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, I keep getting text messages from people saying thank you, and I don't want to take the credit because we just made a policy that gives our building leaders the ability to lead. We made a policy that gave our building leaders the ability to make guidelines and to be the educators and the leaders that we trust them to be. So thank you to our leaders for having the courage to do something that they believe is really important for kids, right? That's so I don't want to thank you for saying thank you though, Janine. Anyone else? Okay. Now we're going to move on to the thrilling approval of minutes. We'll vote separately on each minute approval. The first is June 27th. So Heather, Bruce, and Mark should abstain from voting on approval. Do we still have enough? We still have enough people. That's just 3. Okay. May I have a first? Lisa? May I have a second? Bill? Any discussion? All in favor? August 20th, Kate and Heather. Oh, the first one. Did you vote yes for the first one? Christine's saying you were there for that one. Yes. Can you tell Christine? Yeah. Okay. The second one, August 20th, you were not there. So don't vote. And Heather, you too. May I have a first? Lisa, may I have a second? Bruce, questions? All in favor? Thank you. August 30th, Kate was not there and Bruce was not there. May I have a first? Heather, second? Bill? Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, we now move on to personnel recommendations of the superintendent. We're going to take them as a slate on pages 2 through 11. May I have a first? Lisa, may I have a second? Heather? Questions? Yeah.
I had a question about, there was a section about mentoring programs, so what does that involve?
So the mentoring program, this is new teachers to the district receive a senior teacher to help them, guide them, become better teachers. Those who are, let me see
I
here.
think it's page 5 or 6.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 5 and 6. We still still need, I believe the number is 5 more, Jen?
We still need about 5.
5 more. So it's, they're basically a guide
Is
to
there,
help them.
is there any formal program, anything?
Yes,
come out of it?
there's a very
Okay.
extensive program where they meet, they collect what they discussed, questions that happened, and we look at the data each year to make it a better program, to see what are common threads that are going through on the program, and to help guide our new staff.
How long does the mentor program go on for?
4 years.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes, thank you. So, what page? I forgot my glasses.
Page
I
4.
do want to say, our building principal, Miss Shanahan, I
Shanahan,
couldn't get your
I
maiden name
know.
out of my head. Shanahan, couldn't get your maiden name out of my head. Shanahan will be going on maternity leave, and we're so happy to have Miss Massimo come back to Lloyd Harbor during her absence to steer and guide the building. She was a wonderful person to come back. She's done such a wonderful job there over the past 17 years. Just so happy that we have Valerie come back. She's very excited. And congratulations, good luck, Ms. Shanahan.
Yes, congratulations. And we did say to Mrs. Massimo when she retired, it's not goodbye. It's
No,
see you
it's not.
soon. So We kept true to our word.
I'm happy. I'll have my morning phone call as we drive in together. I'm very much looking forward to it happening again.
Yes,
I had
Mr.
a
Woolman.
Second item, this is procedural. I'm curious why we approve stipends for the AP summer workshop after the fact.
Yes, that's a good question, and that's something that you had discussed, I think,
Yes,
as not happening in the future.
So
okay.
right, so something we're
Yes.
trying to do, if you look forward on page 10, sometimes it's challenging for some of the events to have all the names ahead of time. So if you look here, like we have two back-to-school nights, one for Lloyd Harbor and one for West Side. So we're looking to move, like we're going to approve the hours instead of the people's names, so it's done ahead of time. Because again, it can be very challenging, especially at the beginning of the school year. We're looking to move to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill. Good
Thank you.
question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because that is something that I know, Joe, you wanted to address moving forward.
that's how we're gonna
To
move
make
forward.
sure that we're budgeting in advance, not retroactively.
And I want to thank working
for us.
with Dr. Brody, who has been looking through them. We're looking to do this to maybe go ahead as 3 and 4 months ahead of time, looking at all the major events that go on to eliminate this as much as possible.
Very organized, Dr. Brody, thank you.
Yes, she certainly is.
Okay, so all in favor? Okay, we now move to business recommendations. We will take budget transfer and additional business matters on pages 11 and 12 as a slate. May I have a first? Bill, may I have a second? Heather, questions? Yes.
Can we just discuss what we talked about, right, additional business matters?
Mhm.
Right? Number one, budget adjustment, increase high school budget. So we received a grant from Senator Stern of $30,000. Was that put into the 24-25 budget?
That'll be for purchase of this year for library furniture.
Right, that was put into this year's budget?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, then why are we increasing it if it was put into the budget?
Okay, I can answer that. From an accounting perspective, if you see the date, we actually received the money last school year, but didn't know what we were buying the items on. So we actually recorded them in last year's budget. Okay, and then this year, once the high school determined what they were going to purchase, we're now increasing the budget and recognizing the revenue coming into this budget year.
Right, so we're
The
putting the
budget was
money
held in
the-
abeyance last year.
Okay,
I
thank you.
think your question was, I think I took it as we're putting it into the high school budget to spend this year, which is yes.
Right, but it
We're
wasn't,
increasing.
but it wasn't
Gotcha.
included when we created the budget.
No, because
Correct.
this,
I see your question now.
Yeah.
I took it as, where are we putting the money now?
Yeah,
you're
okay.
going to see the whole budget increase for that line item, both on the revenue side and the expenditure side, so that they could spend the money. It wasn't part of what the public voted on, because there's a different source of this money from the past.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor? Thank you. We now move to special education reports. We will take contracts and CSE, CPSE approvals on page 12 as a slate. May I have a first? Heather, may I have a second? Bruce, any questions? All in favor? Thank you. So we are going to actually take a motion to table this policy, as the policy committee is still working on this for a first read. May I have a first to table this item? Yes. Bill, second. Heather, any questions, comments? All in favor? Thank you. The agenda includes financial reports on page 12. These reports are for informational purposes. No vote is necessary. If needed, Ms. Costa will answer any questions from the Board of Education and public. Feel free to call her in her office. We're now going to continue with the second audience to visitors. Is anyone else interested in speaking at this time? Okay. We are now at the discussion section of our agenda. Does anyone have anything additional that they would like to discuss?
Some agenda items. Is this where we discuss it or no? Remember you asked for agenda items? I sent some. No? Okay.
They were executive items that
These
you
are
sent, so we're
these-
going back into executive. So actually, if you could do us the favor,
So,
those are
yeah.
actually just
Executive or what? Legal, personnel, and what else? Students?
Yeah.
So these are executive?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. We're,
Okay.
we're going back into executive
Very good.
after this, so
That's
we
fine.
will continue. Lest you think that we're really going home, we're not. I'm dying to watch that debate, but I'm gonna go back into executive session. Okay. So I'm gonna take a motion to adjourn, so you may all go watch the debate. May I have a first? Bill, a second. Bruce, all in favor? All right, everyone, let us know how it is. Thanks. Executive session, please. Heather, Lisa, all in favor? Thank you for the purpose of legal and student matters. And for pieces of chocolate. Thank you.